Don't forget to enter our Amazon gift card giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber, like and comment. The last giveaway winners are... Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about main characters who are most definitely going to die in the next and final episode, starting with Dany. Jon will kill her in the finale. That's now a certain thing. Dany became the Mad Queen, much to my disappointment, especially because there was no real build-up for this moment, and Jon will have to stop her. What Dany just did in episode 5 is what her father wanted to do before Jaime stopped him, burn everything and everyone down in King's Landing. Dany did not have any reason whatsoever to burn down the capital. The bells rang, enemy armies surrendered, and all she had to do was march her armies on the Red Keep, kill Cersei and take the city without any killing, simple as that. However, Dany decided to unleash fire and blood and kill all the innocent people. Her armies followed her lead and started slaughtering all the women and children, except for Jon, who tried to prevent unnecessary killing, which is personally my best moment from this very bad episode. Dany is after all the Mad Queen, and I guess the final villain of the story. As I said in my episode 6 trailer breakdown video, I did predict that Dany in the Unsullied would go nuts, and I even said that Dany burning the Red Keep would be justified, and it would not make her the Mad Queen, just like it did not make other Targaryens before, when they used dragons to burn down castles and their enemies. We all expected Dany to go and kill Cersei by burning down the Red Keep, but no, the Red Keep was the last thing she burned down. She only went to attack the Red Keep after she was done with burning the entire city, street by street, building by building. She spent almost the entire episode burning it down, along with all the innocent people. Look at this shot of all deposits of wildfire exploding, as Drogon breathes fire and destruction through King's Landing. There's no excuse for any of this, and Dany should never have done this. And as much as I like Dany, or at least I did until the infamous 5th episode, Dany has to die now, and Jon knows it. Perhaps that's why he was resurrected, to stop Dany the Mad Queen. In the final episode we have a shot of Jon and Davos walking through the streets of King's Landing, overseeing all the horrors Dany did, and I think it's here that Jon realizes Varys was right after all, the coin did not land well for Dany. In fact, I think Jon already regretted not listening to Varys in episode 5, when she started her burning the innocent spree. It's funny that Varys died for the same reason Ned Stark did, for supporting the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and not bowing to the false kings and queens. Varys even wrote letters to each and every kingdom, informing all the lords and ladies who true heir of the Iron Throne is, much like Ned Stark did in the first season, when Joffrey took the throne. Ned wrote letters and sent it to other lords, how Joffrey is not the true heir, but it's Stannis. I read many comments of people saying that Varys did not send those letters to all the important people, as just before he was arrested he was seen burning a letter. This is not true. Yes, Varys did burn the last scroll, but he already sent a bunch of letters at this point. Varys was writing those letters all day, and it was not until the night that he was arrested. Every lord across Westeros received Varys' message regarding who the true heir is and who they should support. I think in the next episode the already mentioned new Prince of Dorne, as well as all other important lords and ladies from Robin Arryn to Yara Greyjoy, all will show up at King's Landing. Some to support Jon's claim, some to support Dany's cause. The Season 8 leaks already confirmed that this Dornish prince would appear in the final episode, as an actor Toby Osmond was casted for this role. Toby's character will wear a golden outfit, just like Oberyn did, and he will likely come with all the Dornish forces. However, I do not believe there will be a war between Jon and Dany, since Jon doesn't really want the Iron Throne. Nevertheless, Jon will kill Dany after what she has done in King's Landing, and after a bit convincing from Tyrion to do it. That's Dany's betrayal for love, and that's how this show will end. The show unfortunately made Dany the Mad Queen, and they did it in one single episode. Varys did warn Jon that he thinks Dany is going mad, and Jon saw it for himself in the Battle of King's Landing. Tyrion will probably say the same thing to Jon in the next episode, convincing Jon that he is the only one able to stop her. Tyrion will also tell to Jon about a conversation he had with Dany at Dragonstone in the beginning of episode 5, the one about Sansa, and how Dany sees her as a traitor and the one plotting to overthrow her. In her mind, Sansa is the reason Varys betrayed her, and she's the reason her claim is threatened. Tyrion will tell Jon about this conversation, and he will tell him how Dany sees Sansa as a threat, and he just witnessed how Dany deals with those threats, the same way her father, the Mad King, did, by burning them alive, along with all the innocent. To be fair, Jon already saw for himself that Dany must be stopped, now that she's killed a couple of hundreds of thousands of innocent smallfolk. Jon tried to stop his armies from killing enemy armies. Jon killed his own man who tried to force himself on an innocent girl during the Battle of King's Landing. How do you think he will react to the fact that Dany just burned the entire King's Landing and allowed her armies to brutally slay women and children? It's funny that when you think about it, all the villains we had throughout the story from Joffrey to Cersei, Ramsay and the Night King, all of them together did not kill as many innocent people as Dany did in just one episode. King's Landing's got a population of 1 million people. If not the vast majority of this number, then at least the half Dany just burned alive. Jon already knows that he's got to stop Dany, and Tyrion telling him how Dany sees her family, especially Sansa, as traitors who are plotting behind her back, Jon will only be convinced that he's got to do it, that he's got to stop Dany's madness, no matter the cost, no matter the fact that she's a woman he loves. From the preview we know that after this, I don't know if we can even call it a victory. Dany will walk out of the Red Keep to give her army some kind of a speech, I guess, or at least that's what it seems is going on here. She'll probably talk about how they just removed one tyrant, which is kind of funny considering she's far worse than Cersei ever was. After this, I expect Jon to walk up inside the Red Keep, inside the destroyed throne room, only to see Dany probably sitting on the Iron Throne, and basically being the Queen of the Ashes. That's the only Bran's vision from the future that is yet to be seen on screen, the destroyed throne room covered in ashes. Let me remind you that while prophecies in Game of Thrones don't literally come true, visions on the other hand do. All Bran's visions already came true, including wildfire attacks Cersei used on Sept of Baelor, and a vision of a shadow flying above the capital that came true in the last episode. Not only did Bran have this vision, and therefore we know this scene will be included in the final episode, but Dany also had similar vision back in Season 2. Dany had a vision that she was in the Iron Throne room, but everything was destroyed and the ground was covered in snow. Or so he thought. Now that the Night King is dead and Dany burned down King's Landing to the ground, the snow in Dany's vision was actually ash. Anyways, how I see Jon killing Dany is like this. He already knows Dany is her father's daughter, the Mad Queen, and he has to stop her. Tyrion will also tell Jon how Dany sees his family as a huge threat and traitors, who are conspiring against her, and therefore Dany will probably kill them as soon as she gets the chance, much like she did Varys. Jon knows he's got to do something, but I believe that before he does, he will give Dany one last chance, trying to talk with her to see if she realizes what she's done is a huge mistake and crime. Dany will then probably justify her actions, and that's when Jon will realize there's no turning back. She's this Mad Queen, and a huge threat to Westeros, having already destroyed one great city, and hundreds of thousands of innocent people, and Jon will then kill her. I believe that's what Dany's vision from the Undying was foreshadowing all along. Dany wins the Iron Throne, and becomes Queen of Ashes that are covering it, but she will not be able to ever sit on it, or at least not for long, because Jon will have to put an end to her madness, whereupon she'll join Drogo and her son on the other world. After that, Jon will probably take the black again for killing Dany, and go back to the Wall and become 1000th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, living out his days in the real North, and reuniting with Ghost, as Tormund foreshadowed. Dany will not be the only one dying in the Game of Thrones finale, Tyrion will die as well. Throughout the 5th episode, Tyrion is appropriately shocked by Dany's actions. That is not how he wanted it to go down, and this is not the queen he knows and supports. In episode 6, Tyrion is obviously upset with Dany. I believe he will throw his hand of the kingpin after this, and Tyrion will die, ending House Lannister. Dany did warn Tyrion early on in episode 5 that if he fails her again, it will be his last. And what was Tyrion's next action in that episode? Failing Dany and releasing Jaime from prison, and not only did he free Jaime, but he also made it clear that it was him who did it. Tyrion did a good job identifying himself to the Unsullied guards, saying that he is the hand of the queen, and he commands him to have a word with a prisoner, whereupon he set him free. From the episode 6 trailer we can tell Tyrion is destroyed, not only because of the fact that his siblings Jaime and Cersei are dead, but also by the fact that Dany, his queen, and the one he betrayed Varys for, and the one he fought for, has done all these horrors to King's Landing. What's especially heartbreaking to me is seeing Tyrion walking through the ruins of the capital and heading straight towards Dany even though he knows he will be executed for freeing Jaime, and trying to have Jaime escort Cersei to safety, but at this point Tyrion doesn't really care for his life. He has just witnessed his family collapse, and his queen burned down all the innocent. He is destroyed to say at the very least. Tyrion will be executed for failing Dany again, but the lowest of the Lannister, actually he's the highest of the Lannister now, will not down just like that. He will secure Dany goes down as well. I believe during his time in dungeons, Tyrion will ask Jon to come and visit him, which is when the earlier mentioned conversation between Jon and Tyrion will take place. Tyrion will reveal to him Dany's feelings towards the Starks, whom she now sees as traitors led by Sansa, and dedicated to end her reign. As I already said, this will only further Jon's belief that Dany must be stopped, and that's the bittersweet ending we'll get, and that's how Game of Thrones will end, with Jon killing Dany. Never in the 7 Hells did I assume Dany would be the final villain of the story, but here we are. Anyways, please let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for many videos that are yet to come. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.